All right, let's jump right into this explainer and take a grand cross-country road trip to explore the massive scale and incredible diversity of the United States. Today, we're going to unpack the distinct landscapes, rich histories, and vibrant ecosystems that make up the 50 states. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just kind of curious about geography, you're going to love seeing how all these different puzzle pieces fit together to form one of the most geographically varied nations on Earth.
Here is our itinerary for today. First up, a vast and varied land. Second, the historic East Coast. Third, the South and the breadbasket. Fourth, the Western frontier. And finally, majestic nature and wildlife.
To really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this place, we've got to look at the people. We're talking over 330 million people living here. That actually makes the US the world's third largest country by population. And it's not just packed with people either. It's physically massive, sitting as almost the third largest country by landmass globally. And the physical extremes? They're literally off the charts. You can go from the absolute lowest point in Death Valley, down at 282 feet below sea level, all the way up to the towering, freezing peak of Denali, piercing the sky at a staggering 20,320 feet. It really makes you wonder how one single country can contain such wild polar opposites, right? Spanning 50 distinct states and the District of Columbia, this enormous landmass is totally boxed in by giant oceans on the east and west, and international neighbors Canada and Mexico to the north and south. Because of these vast borders, the interior of the country is blessed with an incredibly diverse topography. You've got this vast, flat central plain that's perfectly framed by high, rugged mountain ranges out west.
Part 1. The historic East Coast. Origins and industry.
This area really set the stage for the modern U.S. Think about it. Early European settlers flocked up to New England looking for religious freedom. Meanwhile, just a little further south, the Mid-Atlantic region rapidly transformed from quiet colonial settlements into these massive, bustling industrial hubs. It acted like a total magnet, attracting millions of immigrants who were searching for a better way of life. When we talk about the historic New England region, we're looking at a tight cluster of 6 states: Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. This corner of the country is famous for its rocky coastlines, those gorgeous autumn leaves, and, of course, its deep foundational ties to early American history. Move just a bit south and you hit the Mid-Atlantic states and the District of Columbia, which gave rise to some of the East Coast's largest and most economically important cities. Thanks to that heavy industrialization we just talked about, places like New York, Baltimore, and Philadelphia absolutely exploded in population and cultural influence, serving as the primary gateways for millions of new Americans. Part 2. The South and the Breadbasket: Agriculture and Resilience. The South is made up of these 12 states, forming a massive region known for its distinct culture and climate. Historically, this area relied heavily on agriculture and faced some really deep-rooted struggles to rebuild its economy and society after the Civil War ended in 1865. But today, it remains a culturally vibrant and super geographically diverse part of the country. Now, heading into the Central Plains, we hit a region perfectly described by one famous phrase: the nation's breadbasket. Whenever you hear that, you should immediately picture endless, rolling fields of wheat, corn, and soybeans. It is the literal agricultural base of the entire country. We're talking about these 12 Midwestern states. They are the undisputed engine of American farming. States like Iowa, Kansas, and Nebraska have the perfect flat topography and fertile soil needed to feed not just millions across the country, but people all over the entire world. It might be a bit quieter compared to the bustling coastal cities, but it's the absolute backbone of the American food supply.
Part 3. The Western Frontier. Deserts, pioneers, and endless wilderness.
Leaving those Central Plains behind, imagine just driving into this starkly beautiful environment where the earth literally opens up into mind-bending natural wonders like the Grand Canyon or Carlsbad Caverns. The Southwest gives us this incredibly dramatic shift in scenery. The lush greens of the eastern Midwest just fade away into vibrant red rocks and expansive desert prairies. The Southwest is proudly claimed by just 4 states: Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. It's an area famous for its unique geographical features and intense desert climates. I mean, going from the massive scale of Texas to the desert blooms of Arizona, this region feels almost like a different planet compared to the New England coast we started on. But the broader American West? That is a whole different level of extreme diversity. When most folks hear the American West, they picture rolling plains and cowboys, right? That classic pioneering spirit. But it's so much more than that. It includes everything from the glitz of Hollywood and the geysers of Yellowstone, all the way out to the tropical coral reefs of Hawaii and the frozen, isolated tundra of Alaska.
It's a massive block of 11 states. And it's honestly staggering to think that a single region groups together the sun-drenched beaches of California with the icy glaciers of Alaska and the towering Rocky Mountains of Colorado. Every single one of these states brings its own wildly unique ecosystem to the table. And our final stop, Part 4, Majestic Nature and Wildlife, Protecting American Ecosystems.
It is honestly fascinating how one single country can host such drastically different environments. You can stand on a tropical beach in Florida, navigate the winding currents of the mighty Mississippi River, or hike through the towering granite cliffs of Yosemite Valley. Oh, and here's a fun, surprising fact for you. Interspersed throughout all these habitats are over 20,000 flower species. And believe it or not, most of them are actually brought over from Europe.
And who lives in these varied habitats? Well, at the absolute top of the food chain, you've got massive carnivores like black bears, grizzlies, and even polar bears up in Alaska. Plus, we absolutely can't forget the iconic American bison. These magnificent creatures once roamed completely freely in massive herds across the plains, though today they live safely protected in preserves.
To preserve all of this breathtaking natural beauty and incredible wildlife, the National Park Service steps in. They actively protect and maintain more than 400 distinct areas across the country. That's enough to ensure these diverse landscapes remain totally untouched and pristine for generations to come. Before we wrap things up, we absolutely have to highlight the most famous resident of the skies, the bald eagle. Soaring high above all the regions we just discussed, this beautiful, fully protected species has served as the proud national symbol of the United States for well over 2 centuries. So, having seen the incredible sheer scale, the rich history, and the jaw-dropping geographic variety this country has to offer, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. With landscapes ranging from Arctic tundra to tropical beaches, which American region will you explore next? What part of this massive map sparks your curiosity the most? Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.